Kayla, you've been working so hard on the studio, on the work in your studio. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what you've been working on?
I'm still iffy about all of them.
What makes you iffy about this one? Which one? This one?
I'm not sure if I should actually paint in the graffiti or if I should do kind of like these on the paintings. It's just like the marks. But I've kind of started. But I don't know if it's going to be the finished
Are they
piece.
your friends or family?
Say that again?
Are your friends or your family?
Are they your friends or family?
Yeah. I get my siblings to model for me sometimes.
Oh, wow.
So this is your family.
This is my younger brother. That's me. And this is my mother.
What's playing on the TV screen? Is that TV screen? Movie screen?
So this is a wall full of graffiti. And I kind of just...
Oh, that's the graffiti you started then, that's...
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is your home or your
No, it's a wall full of graffiti. It's somewhere in New York City.
So this is a combination of different, like a collage of different scenes and people.
Yes.
This boy is doing some maybe some violent things, or I don't know what he is doing like this.
What's the action?
Yeah.
He's holding the guitar. He's not actually breaking it, but it's gestured like he is.
And what do you call it? Horse? Is that some symbols for something?
It's a part of the graffiti.
It's just a part of it.
I missed the first part, but why are some of the figures blue? I noticed that back here too.
Some figures are blue because my work is about Black identity, so I invert the skin tones to make it like alien because of how Black people are perceived. And then when you view it through, you're supposed to view it through your phone, you actually see their skin tones and like they have their identities.
So this is the reversal film. The reverse the film color.
That we were talking
Yes. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
this is kind of more classic, the black and white.
I saw
This
that
is in
tea,
color.
it was like that, the tea.
She has grills on, so
Yeah.
it's more gold.
How do you, like when you're doing this like inverted, okay, let me get it. Like how do you plan it out? Not the context, but like how the gradients work together. Does that make sense? Like the color gradients work so that they are inverted when you see them on the phone. Like how does that process work?
Through Photoshop, it's kind of trial and error. I see how much I want inverted and how much I want in color, but most of the time it's like inversion and then like a couple of colored figures. But I kind of like it to be overwhelming.
This piece kind of reminds me like sort of it's got sort of like that mural that you see from the Egyptian tomb right now. I'm not sure if this color has been inverted or has been sketched or haven't painted yet, but that's what's reminding me a lot of the same color, as well as like there's a sort of a cow head going on over here. I think it's a cow head.
Oh, unicorn.
Is it unicorn? Yeah, and then it looks like the person over here is almost like a mummy right there.
Yeah, I can see that too. Is that an underpainting or is that the color that it's going to be?
It's an underpainting. That's that's what I'm kind of deciding, whether I should complete it or have just the marks and you can see through them.
Just leave it as it is.
When you choose the figures to collage together, do you think the connection between them, such as this boy and there's a person lie down there, do they have connection?
No, it's mostly composition. I usually like larger figures, smaller figures, something abstract, not the exact, size. So I enlarge most of the figures, and then sometimes I make them smaller.
I think they have some relationship or something, not just the size, maybe the people's relationship or story have some.
Yeah, like they're all in the same space and they're all collaged in Photoshop from different sources, but are they all meant to exist in the same scene together, or like as if they're interacting with each other? Like is the figure in the back there watching him with the guitar and...
No, this figure is looking at the audience. They're kind of separate, but they're together.
They're all having their own experiences.
Do you typically, you said that the back is you, right?
Yes.
Do you typically paint yourself with that perspective of looking at the audience?
Most of the time there are figures that are looking at the audience because it's about the gaze, and when you invert it, you actually see them and they see you.
It's not scary.
I like that.
Do you find that people recognize themselves in your work?
Like connect,
Connect?
like immediate connection from.
I mean, I think if you see
Not
it burn
yet.
yourself, I don't think it's gonna be really. Like, what is that hideous monster? And they've already got watch my face.
For when you said you put them in Photoshop and then play with the, the reversal, do you use that then as a reference, the Photoshop?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you something. You said that you work with collage. So is the way that you also start painting, like collage, like maybe not this today, maybe this one today, maybe you work like that? Because I also see like you work maybe, is this tape? Yeah. You maybe work here, but you didn't start here. You start maybe like, I don't know, like maybe here. Is that the way that you do like all your paintings?
Yeah, all over the place.
What is that? Is your process, or is something like you are like trying to explore like little, I don't know.
It's my process, but that's all subconscious.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. That's nice.
You just pick the spot that you'd like to work on. That day to day.
I am getting the sense with all these paintings that you were kind of more foreground before background.
Yeah, the background doesn't really matter.
It's more about the people.
Yeah, it's about the figures.
And the individual experiences they're all having in the same space.
Right.
Can you speak about this painting? Because I remember watching you paint the brush strokes, the white brush strokes. And so I'm curious about.
This
Yeah,
is also
I like
handwritten.
this one very
Okay.
much.
Yeah.
This one and this one are just portraits.
Okay.
Say it again.
Those
These
are,
two are portraits,
Oh, okay.
so there's no collage involved.
Oh, okay.
I see this one you use the background technique to become the foreground.
A similar technique.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah, I kind of like this is usually my underpainting, but I like the way that looks.
Is it like sort of like, did you reference this sort of line from like an actual, is there certain patterns that are underlying that you're using it, or is it something like more like an intuition that you just,
It's more of an intuition.
wow.
Because when I watched you do it, you were next to the canvas and you were going with it, which I thought was really, that's why I asked about it, because it just didn't seem too like, sometimes people are very, very focused and it was kind of very, you had ease when you were doing it.
But like this is your like sort of like your visual guideline, right? That how you would orchestrate.
Yeah, for me,
paintings and
even though it's like
shapes.
super messy, it's
Yeah.
I
know,
can see
you
the figure, I
yeah.
can see the
You
the
clearly
hands.
like know which this part of an area you're going to be painting for that how much of an area.
It
Yeah.
looks like a, it looks like your own language.
Yeah.
Like
it's
symbols
like
and,
a- yeah.
and, yeah.
Yeah, they're almost pictogrammic,
Mhm.
like a scripty
Yeah.
pictogram. Yeah.
Like primitive even. Like primitive languages or something. Because then you have like dots and things added in here too. It's not just like lines.
This is like it doesn't look like a sketch. It's almost like it's its own abstract arts.
It almost has like some wild style graffiti almost vibe.
Yeah, I'm not like okay.
But like the fact that it can be used as a guideline is incredible. This is what I would do is that I would do what I was gonna do for that piece is that I'm gonna sketch it on a smaller scale. I'm gonna measure it and I'm gonna grid it and put a script. So it's like a real hieroglyph style of murals. I would like make a tile shape of it, tile grid of it, and then literally transfer it to the large scales. That's how I would do it to put a sketch. But for you, you just like fling it. Yeah, this is really talented work.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I mean, you really married like the kind of pre-work that you do with the intuitive sort of just go with it and let the lines develop as they will really well. It's not overly pre-planned. There's a lot of your identity and personality in it as well, in terms of your brushstrokes and whatnot.
How long does it usually take for a piece to finish?
2 months. Yeah, it all depends. I don't want to paint on it anymore. It's done.
So you make your own decision of when is the time to stop and when is time to like continue on. It's like almost like a sort of an abstract because it's like generally for figurative paintings, the finish is basically like covering the entire surface, covering the sketch. But the abstract, there's no any like that distinctive line. It's really the decision from the artist himself. Like at some point it'll be like that looks finished, that feels finished. Do you get that sort of that same decision while you're working on a piece as well?
Yeah, I make my digital collages as a reference, but they're not the final piece. I can completely change it. So
It's only just like a guideline.
just a guideline. Yeah.
Can we view one of your digital collages? Is that okay? You can say no. Just curious about like the overall process, like how we get to this.
I won't discard this. Oh
Oh, it's cool. I think it already an art.
Yeah, I agree. That's an art piece by itself.
Yeah.
Wow.
Be a photo exhibit or just like a printed exhibit as well.
That's what's great. You can see how the medium really transforms reaction and what is emphasized in it.
Yeah, it's like she's making such a huge decision of which segments of this content wanted to be transferred to this actual painting and which one she doesn't want it to be, I think.
I didn't notice this arm before.
Kind of reaching out from her arm.
Yeah.
It's a constant selection of information, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is cool.
Yeah.
Is it something that I think that is something more inherently you want to continue search out as a core movement of your artworks? Like selection of informations?
I kind of want like an overload of information.
Overload of information.
I love it.
But yet again, this is so selective.
But it's not finished. But yeah,
It's not finished, I guess.
but
Like,
I still feel like even with the underpainting, it's still a lot of information that you see here.
Right.
All the
And when I
graffiti and
paint
sticker
it in,
bombs.
It's gonna still, like even with this, you see the pencil marks, but I'm gonna leave that in.
But then again, it's like, I guess, it's not like I guess it's not a filtering of the information, but like, it's more like cryptid, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, cause it's like, this is like encrypted information, and you're like sort of uncrypting it from the edge of the pieces. So there's this one as well, I guess. And it's almost like, do you sometimes want to leave the pieces as like sort of encrypted segments? But then, yeah, I mean, yes, for yourself, like information is there, but it's also cryptic. Like, it's not like the information is not there, but it's there, but it cannot be readable to certain people.
Yeah, do you want it to be like open to interpretation or?
Yes, completely.
It's very interesting.
Does anyone else have any thoughts, closing thoughts, before we move on to Darlene?
I really love the people, just the ghostness, this otherworldliness.
I really like the background you choose because I can see this background in Chinatown every day. I think it's very interesting. And in my hometown, it's not looks like this. So it's yes, it's a feeling of the community here.
That's good.
Yeah.
Hello. Your work has like a lot of energy.
Yeah, I agree. There's like a lot of motion from
Yeah.
what seems like your hieroglyphs. It adds like almost like a still shot, but it could immediately go right back into motion. I even see like a center here that looks like you worked out, and it kind of feels like a portal to the middle. And then I'm trying to read like all these signs. So what you said wasn't as important in your background, like adds a lot of motion to the picture.
I am curious. Yeah, I see a little dot in the middle where he was pointing to. Is that where you began? And then everything else emanated from?
I started with these actually, and it's kind of the only thing that's really painted, and then I went down. Same thing with these, I usually start from like the left corner and then I just go down.
I think it would be interesting to see all the work on display and some sort of compilation of your pre-work, like the Photoshop images.
Together?
Yeah, like somehow installed, or I'm always thinking about how to put something in a book or how to put this extra bit of information within the space of work. I don't know if that makes sense, but like Yame said, like was the first to say this looks like art, like by itself,
Oh,
like
yeah.
like at like a piece all itself. So it'd be cool to somehow exhibit the work and then also exhibit your pre-work, like your process work, the collage work. Like, cause it does look like art by itself. I mean, it is art, but like, it looks like it could be exhibited
Like a final piece.
like a final
Yeah.
piece, yeah, and either show separately or alongside.
Even as like goes on as a teaching tool for artists who are like learning how to cross those two practices of that collaging, and so showing how you came from that and then brought it into this other medium is like I think is a great teaching tool.
Cause it's all your process.
Yeah.
It's all a part of your process, and oftentimes people want to see what the artist process is. Like, of course, the final result is important too, but then like the process is just as important. Like just your perspective and where you're coming from and how you got to this. It's often
It could help
like
you.
appreciated too.
It could help people kind of step into your world
Yeah.
and understand like what you're, and then you don't have to even like talk too much about it. And they could
Yeah.
like go down their own rabbit holes and things informed by this.
I think just maybe more like keep it to curiosity to the person that are seeing. Maybe
Leave
you're
it
more
open.
like that. Because also, if we are going to talk about all the artists, you are more curious than maybe all of us. Because I can tell you're when you're here, you're just with this and you're working. You're more curious, and maybe your work also represents that. Also, the things that you're saying that she can do like both of them, but maybe she's like.
Maybe not. Don't get too much.
Yeah.
Maybe doesn't want to educate, but wants to like,
I can
Yeah.
see that too.
Yeah. But also, it's really.
yeah.
Oh, I would say one option for if you wanted to show these digital collages to tie in how you can do an AR where they're kind of like 3D and layered. and so people can walk into the scene
Oh
in
my
some
God,
type
that's
of
cool.
way.
That's
wow.
Because that's another way for it to, if you
Yeah.
wanted that. Since you already have an element that people can look on their phones and
Mhm.
see your paintings differently, they can also interact with your collages differently.
An awesome idea.
That's a very
Yeah.
good idea. Thank you. That's very cool.
Mhm.
Because that, I mean, that would be really cool to,
Yeah.
you can work with
Mhm.
somebody so that people can turn and see and extends the scene.
You know, talk to Kevin. You know, he's
Yeah.
Yeah.
our AR resident. You know, de facto
The
resident.
piece
So
that's outside, but
Mhm.
that's, yeah.
Thank you.
thank you so much, Kayla. Wow, you're killing it.
Thank you.